For those that are just tuning in, we are waiting for the AV to get set up as we transition from our study session, and we will get started shortly.
Sorry, there's power surge this morning. So that might have.
Good point, yeah, so, yeah.
I'll let Katie give me the green light if we have one.
Says all kinds of stuff you don't know is true.
That is true, good point.
30 seconds?
Yeah.
I decide if it's not right.
We will begin in approximately 30 seconds.
Yeah, how many times do people say, oh, I thought we agreed on this?
Yeah,
No, what matters is what we wrote down. We
That's
both
right.
signed.
right, that's true. So, who's this attorney, what's this guy's name? You haven't met him either, okay?
He just comes here, stares, you don't know.
And what? Thank you. Because we have to fix what's in that audit.
Well, I want to thank everybody for their patience as we transition from tight timing from our study session. And with that, I'd like us to all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I want to take this opportunity to welcome everyone to our City Council meeting Monday, December 8th. And with that, I'd like to turn over to Clerk Tomasic to please call roll.
Schumate,
Here.
Hosmer,
Here.
Cox,
Here.
Dill,
Here.
LaPointe,
Here,
McNabb,
Here.
Molnar.
Here.
With the full house this evening, we have no absent members to excuse, which will bring us to our approval of the agenda. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda as publicly noticed?
so moved.
Do we have a second? Do we have a second?
Second.
Discussion?
Well, I was hoping to make a small change on Amy's for the MMTA training. I would like to be added to that training as well. I'm not gonna, I wouldn't stay in a hotel, but I would like to go to the training for those 2 days that she's going to.
Procedurally, since the agenda has that topic covered for finance director, would we require a modification for adding treasurer for consideration?
I think we can just change it when we get to that agenda item, the dollar amount,
Okay.
if that works for everyone.
Okay.
Given the partnership with the finance director and treasurer in context, I think the agenda publicly noticed that this would be a topic for discussion, so I think we could dive into that discussion at that time.
Thank you.
City Attorney, do you have any issue with that? Okay. So we're still in discussion on a supported motion. Any other discussion on the approval of agenda? Thank you, Treasurer Raja, for your comments. Okay, Clerk Tomasic, please call roll.
Hosmer,
Yes.
Cox,
Yes.
Dill,
Yes.
LaPointe,
Yes,
McNabb,
Yes.
Molnar.
Yep.
Schumate.
Yes. Motion carried, so we have an approved agenda this evening, which will bring us to public comment. Are there any members of the public that wish to address council this evening? If so, please approach that podium and make sure that light is green. I'm not seeing any public comment. We will have another public comment opportunity before we adjourn. So that will close public comment and bring us to our consent agenda. Members of public and council, in your packet, you will see items A through F. We're looking for a motion to approve item A through F on our consent agenda this evening. Item A, bills reference number 11. Item B, payroll 986, 987, 988, 999, and 990. Item C, city council minutes of 11/24/25. Item D, planning commission minutes of 10/21/2025. Item E, DDA minutes of 10/21/2025. And lastly, item F, beautification commission minutes of 12/1/2025. Do we have a motion to approve consent agenda items A through F?
Motion to approve consent agenda, items A through F.
Motion by Bosmer, is there a second?
Second.
Second by McNabb. Council, any discussion on this matter? Clerk Tomasic, please call roll.
Cox,
Yes.
Dill,
Yes.
LaPointe,
yes,
McNabb,
Yes.
Molnar,
Yes.
Schumate,
Yes.
Bosmer.
Yes.
Motion carried. That will bring us to our communications, for which there is none this evening, which will carry us to my reports. Council, I do not have any formal agenda topics, just a few updates I'd like to share with you. One is that on your next council meeting, which has been shifted to December 15th, I will be bringing an agenda topic for the cell tower off West Jefferson. Some of my peers have been involved in the discussions to date. We've packaged up the information, and I want to make sure that I can put that in front of you on December 15th. So just a heads up on that matter. Update number 2 is I'm very grateful for your support in the appointment of our department heads. And so on the 15th, I will be bringing to you recommendations for appointments for my peers to serve in capacities such as DCC, DMA, and SEMCOG, and other elements of our council representation. So I've been putting some thought into that. I know some of you have shared some feedback on where you'd like to be involved and where your expertise and experience align. So stay tuned for some recommendations there. Item number 3, I think, is really important. I'm really grateful for Councilman Molnar, Councilman McNabb, Councilman Cox, and some of my peers that we've served in the last 2 years together. Obviously, we're welcoming our new individuals. And I want you to have the reference point that we did publish progress summaries from our administration and publicly shared those at 12 months and at 24 months. And our goal was to give you a view of the progress we're making in service of this community and our taxpayers. We also did workshops, well, I'd say workshops, study sessions to help align our strategic priorities. And all of those strategic priorities had tactical bullets underneath each one of them. And I had put that in my packet every time so that people knew directionally what are our North Stars strategically and where are we advancing tactics. Why am I saying all that? Because I think it's a great situation that we have a city administrator who's been incredibly strong in her position, who had recommended we do a vision and strategy session with our new administration. And I know she's been working hard to kind of build out framework for that. I just want to give her a shout out. I think it's imperative we do that together. I think she's going to be targeting January. I think the good news is we'll be able to look at our 2-year progress from the prior term. We'll be able to look at our strategic priorities we've identified, and we'll be able to bring in our newly sworn members to make sure we have our North Stars solidified for the future. So I'm excited about that, and Rachel, thank you for driving that process. Number 4, huge shout out to our Department of Public Safety and our fire department. Sergeant Schaefer, the leadership that Fire Chief Simon have brought, all of the individuals, I could name them all, but they have done a tremendous job in serving our community, and most recently, I know at 1:29 a.m. on Saturday the 6th, they received a call, and their response, their collaboration within the department and across communities is so greatly appreciated to keep our community safe and sound. So just want to give a shout out, and I'm sure we can cover that in more detail, but I want to make sure I could flag my appreciation for the department. Thank you so much. The next update I wanted to share is the weed harvester. We've talked about this as an administration. Big shout out to Councilman McNabb, who's been a driving force in a lot of that activity. The good news is that I want to extend a tremendous thanks that we have secured $161,777 from Wayne County for our aquatic weed harvester. Not only did our team, our Waterways Commission, big shout out to the Waterways Commission, Mr. Overwater and all, Councilman McNabb, who took what is a older machine and did the best to serve our community with that in our last months of need. But as you know, we've been lobbying very hard to get funding for a new one. And that funding was just approved and secured from a county perspective. So just thank you to all those involved. Shout out to Commissioner Garza, the county executive, and the broader team that played a role in that. It was quite a process, and it's great to see that that has come to the finish line. Obviously, that means we now have to go through the procurement and other elements of this process, but the good news is for our community, it's a huge need in maintaining those weeds in our waterways, and we now have a new machine on its way with the funding secured. So those are just 5 things I wanted to throw out there just for awareness, appreciation, and forward-looking, knowing what's coming on the agenda from my point. Any questions or comments for me? All right, well, that will close my report, and let's turn it over to council reports. Councilman Bosmer, floor is yours.
Yeah, the only item I'd like to share is that the next American Red Cross Blood Donor Drive is going to be January 30th, Friday, Gil Talbert Community Center, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Gratefully, we already have 11 people that signed up, a lot from the drive we just had November 14th. So it's going to be an ongoing need always, but 4 times a year in Gibraltar, we're going to do an American Red Cross blood drive. So you can mark your calendars. If you need help making an appointment, please consider that. I really appreciate that, and people that need the blood would really appreciate that, I'm sure of it. they're really grateful. The family's always grateful when they get a pint of blood that comes to the hospital to help them out, and it's from our own community. So thanks for your time on that.
Thank
That's
you,
it for me.
Councilman Bosmer. Any questions for Councilman Bosmer? All right, next up is Councilman Cox. Floor is yours.
Regarding the Planning Commission for the November meeting, we did a sign review and approval for the Dollar General on Jefferson, used to be the former pharmacy. And for the DDA, we approved the budget for the Christmas parade and tree lighting that just occurred. By the way, fantastic event. We also approved the award bid for the fireworks for the 4th of July, and we requested that the rec director go back out to bid for porta-johns and tent and stage rentals for competitive bids. That's my report.
Yeah, Councilman Cox, thank you for shouting out the amazing festivities this weekend. What a great celebration for the city of Gibraltar, and thank you for your role on approving and supporting those fundings. Any questions for Councilman Cox? All right, Councilman Dill, floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just had one update, notice to residents and folks. I will be having office hours on Wednesday, December 17th from 4 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. in the conference room next to City Hall. Love to hear from folks, and that'll be all. Thank you.
Awesome. Any questions for Councilman Dill? Councilwoman Lapointe, floor is yours.
No report.
Any questions for Councilwoman Lapointe? Councilman McNabb, floor is yours.
No report, other than I'm very happy to hear that we have our funding. It seems that Mr. Garza may come to our next meeting and present us with a big check. We'll move on from there. Hopefully, we can keep the other one running for a year. It takes a while to build these things, so very happy to hear this.
Really grateful for you and all you did to make that happen. Any questions for Councilman McNabb? Councilman Molnar, floor is yours.
No report.
Any questions for Councilman Molnar? All right, Parks and Recreation Director Reynolds, we do not have any items to cover, but City Administrator, anything you'd like to share?
Our Parks and Recreation Director could not attend this evening, but in lieu of his no action items, I would just like to again shout out the amazing job he did along with our Parks and Rec Commission for the Christmas tree lighting. It was an incredible turnout, a lot of fun for everyone. The ice sculptures are still up there, so if you haven't seen them, go take a look. It was incredible, and also huge shout out to our public safety and our DPW for helping support that event as well.
Well said.
That'll be all for Director Reynolds.
Any questions for Director Reynolds that you all wanted to share so we can capture? Phenomenal job, and
Just like to, may I could add, they need more commission members, so
Yes.
we really need to support our Parks and Recreation. So anybody out there that'd like to get involved, you take an official oath of office, and you take it seriously, and you roll your sleeves up, and you get to work. So love to have you. And I wish I could still be part of that, but I appreciate what I have now. So thank you.
well said. Great. City Attorney,
Nothing for me.
any questions for our City Attorney? All right, City Administrator, floor is yours.
Thank you. So we purposely tried to keep this agenda light so we can discuss my two action items, A and B, at length. When I first arrived, I sat down with our clerk, our mayor, and our attorney to go over the council agenda and look for not just more efficiencies, but how can we bring this more in line with other municipalities and create better flow through our meetings. That is all reflected in front of you with the drafted council agenda. I would just like to point you to this. I included comments under each topic of what that would include and what that would mean and how that differs. I would love to open up the floor for any questions, comments, concerns, any possible changes.
I'll make a motion to approve the amended agenda as presented and recommended by the city clerk, mayor, and the city attorney's office.
We have a motion by Lapointe. Is there a second for that motion?
Second.
Second by Molnar. Let's open up for discussion. And council, I think this is, first off, City Administrator Wisman, thank you for bringing this structure, and I know Clerk Tomasic and many others provided input. You had made me aware, because I think one of the questions I had for you was how we're looking at, our surrounding communities or broader kind of best practices. I know our meetings have been lengthy. A part of that is obviously the volume of activity, but the others could be maybe structural efficiencies we can achieve. So I just really appreciate the proposal. And council, I know I've spoken with some of you. I know there's importance of discussion here and making sure we're aligned on the why behind the what. So council, please, let's put forth any discussion you may have in context of this proposal.
What, Mr. Mayor, what are the other communities, referenced, when creating this proposal? Downriver communities, school boards, what were your references for coming up with this and presenting it?
So quite frankly, every community I've seen. So every community I've seen, none of them do individual director reports. That is all typically done under a department head report item, or just everything's under new business, unfinished business, or consent agenda. So I've worked closely in 3 other communities. This is my 4th. So City of Livonia, Village of Pentwater, Village of Milford. Milford is exceptional. They run like 5-minute meetings. I don't think we want to necessarily get there, although it would be great. But that's not the goal. The goal of this is to make sure, and this was done as kind of a hybrid of what I've seen and what the input I received from the people I've talked to about this here in Gibraltar. The goal is to really focus on making this a business meeting for council and ensuring that they have all the information that they need to make decisions in a manageable form, while also recognizing that we don't need redundancy where it's unnecessary. So that was the intent and the goal behind this.
Councilwoman LaPointe?
So I don't know if this is the appropriate time and place, or if we should do it in January, but I would sense, this is also going to immediately amend the policy manual. Is that the intent?
So yes, that's why that's action B.
Okay, so I want to, it's probably a separate motion. I want to put in the policy manual that we operate under Robert's Rules of Order, because it's not in there in the, I don't know how many pages of documents it is, but I just would like to be on the record that that's how we operate the meetings.
That's a good discussion to apply to.
Separate motion?
Yeah, I would assume that would be a separate
And then
motion.
my only question, item number 3, and it might be another silly question, but, so this would mean that our department heads, being DPW, Finance, Parks and Rec, the Fire Department, but how about the attorney? Like, that's not mentioned. Will we still have the city attorney here with us at the meetings every time?
Oh, absolutely,
Okay,
yes.
that was my only question, and I agree with everything you did. I think, it'll make for more effective government running of our meetings, and
Well said.
people won't have to babble.
I tend to
They're
agree.
not on the agenda.
I think it helps
Yeah.
bring us in line with our charter where, we have a charter purchasing policy. We have procedures that we've adopted, and we've out of practice gotten away from those, and tightening up this agenda and operating it via the city administrator, particularly purchasing it, streamlines it, and it allows a focused practice where somebody is focused at the purchasing to be the one presenting to us, and it gets all in one area as opposed to slap shot of all over the place, and so it's more narrow, and I'm in favor of it.
Well said. Councilman Posmer?
Sure. The 5-minute mark, or the 3-minute mark, or the 2-minute mark, how imperative do we scale back? I mean, 5 is probably long enough, right? But I don't know, if people, sometimes they get to talk and they more ideas come out. I just don't want to short time the presence of the community when they have a chance to speak.
Yes, so that's actually in the administrative policy changes. Currently, it is 5 minutes. That's not really enforced at the moment. So I recommended 3 minutes in my draft policy change. That's what I've seen in other communities. Some go as far as 2 minutes. I think that's a little extreme. So that's my recommendation in item B is 3 minutes, but that's something we can discuss as well.
Yeah, we'll cover that in more detail in the next agenda topic, but good flag and input there. Any additional discussion, comments, questions, clarifications? Clerk Tomasic, please call roll.
Okay. Dill,
Yes.
Lapointe,
Yes.
McNabb,
Yes.
Mulnar,
Yes.
Schumate,
Yes.
Bosmer,
Yes.
Cox.
Yes.
Motion carried. Rachel, thank you so much for bringing this to us. Back to you.
All right, so in line with that, administrative policy, if you look at your proposed action sheet, it kind of clarifies everything because it's redlined, but there's only a few pages that I redlined. And just to clarify, there may be additional changes you want. You may not like these changes. Again, I really wanted this meeting to focus on what do you want as your rules and how can we adopt them? So I am okay, obviously, making changes, coming back to you with more. But the 4 items I focused on, or the 3 items, were voting on motions, resolutions, and ordinances. So that clarifies that, as in for like the last vote, a roll call vote wouldn't be necessary. Roll call votes would only be required for expenditures over $10,000, ordinances, and appointments. However, if anyone voices a no vote or abstains, a roll call vote would be required. So this changes that policy. Number 2 is in regards to public comment, and there's a few things here. So it clarifies that the public may address council only during the 2 public comment sections on the agenda, not during any other time during the meetings. I know that has been a concern here, and that makes Clerk Tomasic's life a little bit more complicated. So I'd appreciate clearing that up. As mentioned, also reducing the public comment limit to 3 minutes as opposed to 5 and enforcing that. And then clarifying that public comment is a time for the public to speak, not for conversations or council members to respond. And I want to clarify that communicating with the public is a top priority for me. Those of you who have met with me, you've always seen me with a notepad in front of me taking notes. I'm doing the same thing at council meetings. So if someone comes up here and they have a question or they raise a concern, if I deem it pertinent information that the public needs to know now and I have the answer, I will address it under administrator comments at the end of the meeting. That way, we are not impacting their time limit, because every time we talk, the clock's still running for them. So it just clears that up, but I assure you that I will respond if I have the answer. There will be cases where I don't have the answer right away, or we're not ready for that answer to be public. So I want you to be aware of that, but in 99% of the cases, I will respond at the end of the meeting. So there's that one. And then the last one is attendance at council meetings for department heads. This would amend the policy to make sure that the city clerk, treasurer, city administrator, and director of public safety always have to be in attendance. I did not put the attorney in here because it was not previously mentioned, and I just kind of thought it as a given, but we can amend it to include that to
Part of the charter,
clarify.
so-
Yeah, so, we can make that amendment, but for our finance director, Parks and Rec director, chief of fire department, they would not have to be at the meeting unless they had something on the agenda and there were reasonable questions that may need to be asked. So it gives them their 2 Monday nights a month, and they can spend it with their family. Like finance director is unable to be here tonight. Her son has a school concert, a Christmas concert. We want them to prioritize those things instead of sitting in a meeting that they have nothing on the agenda for. So that is also a common practice in other communities, and it's not a historical practice here, so I wanted to bring that to your attention. And those are the main red lines I had, the only ones I had, so.
May I make a suggestion, as I was taking notes on the
Yes.
earlier discussion points, right? The 2 additions that I think are pertinent that have already been raised are, 1, Rogers rules and the abidance by them. And 2, the inclusion of the city attorney as a mandatory representative at meetings.
Yep.
So council, if you want to choose a motion, which could then be opening up discussion, I would suggest your motion is to approve the amended administrative policy conditional on the addition of Rogers Rules of Bidence and city attorney representation. Sorry, Robert's Rules. Thank you for the correction there. And that could be a motion that would help us get into discussion. So if somebody wants to make that motion, the council floor is yours.
I move to accept, accept the changes to the administrative policy as recommended by the city administrator, with the addition of, one, adding Robert's Rules of Order newly revised as our operating procedure or official rules of operation, and under number 3, adding that the Director of Public Safety and attorney are required at the meetings in accordance with the charter.
Clerk Tomasic, do you have that motion captured? All right, so motion by Lapointe. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Dill. Discussion, council, please. Any discussion on this matter?
Should we fine tune it for Robert's rules so that it doesn't, because I believe it's implied and assume, but that it wouldn't interfere with any rules established by the charter or other administrative policy rules, that it would, in the absence of those rules, then Robert's rules would take.
And I'm supposed to talk to the chair, so I'm going to say that I thought of the same thing, Councilman, but I think that when we have our study session in January, my question is charter, policy manual, Robert's rules, like how do we, what's the pecking order? So it may, and that's an attorney question, maybe they can explain that to us, I don't know if it's sooner or later, but. So I guess the question he's raising is when in conflict. Well, Robert's rule is never going to conflict with your charter. It's just how we.
Correct.
How the
I've
how the
never
mayor
encountered
chairs the
that.
meeting.
I've been the assistant city attorney for the city of Melvindale for a number of years.
Right.
I've attended, I don't know, hundreds of city council meetings.
Everybody operates under.
It's backup mostly. I usually do 6 to 10 a year, sometimes more, depending on my law office partner. I've never encountered a conflict with Robert's Rules of Order and the charter.
Right.
The charter is not that specific in terms of procedure, in terms of how the meetings are run. I've never encountered that.
I think it's a good thing to capture for record purposes, so thank you, on order of hierarchy, right, and enforcement related to Robert's Rules to charter. I don't know if that would warrant a revision of the motion by any means, but I think we should capture it and make sure it's addressed in your updated language as incorporated.
I'm going to stand with my motion as
Yeah.
stated, if
Yeah,
that's okay.
I think it's accurately reflected, and we'll capture that, Councilman Dill, just as a wording consideration as Rachel puts that forth.
Yep.
Any further discussion on that matter? Clerk Tomasic, please call roll.
Lapointe,
Yes.
McNabb,
Yes.
Molnar,
Yes.
Schumate,
Yes.
Bosmer,
Yes.
Cox,
Yes.
Dill.
Yes.
Motion carried, and Rachel, back to you.
Perfect. Thank you all. The rest of the agenda should be a breeze. So the next item I have is to send me to MME training. MME stands for Michigan Municipal Executives. A little background on that for you. I am the vice chair of the Early Career Outreach Committee. So one of the events at MME is working with early career professionals and mainly college students, encouraging them to get in this field. And that is of critical importance, especially for a city like ours who has struggled with administrators to keep people in the fields. As you know, there is a lack of qualified candidates currently operating and being trained. So keeping them trained is important. That's one of my roles at this conference. And I will also, hopefully, if you agree to send me, be conducting 2 different training sessions. I, in my contract, have $3,500 for professional development, and the fiscal impact of this between the hotel and the actual conference is $977.85.
Council motion will be in your court to send City Administrator Witherspoon to the MME Winter Workshop from January 21st to 23rd.
Make that motion.
I second.
Councilman McNabb made the motion, second by Dill. Any discussion on this matter?
You're giving 2 presentations at that.
I am,
That's
yes.
awesome. Good for you.
They accidentally scheduled them at the same time at first. So we worked that out. They determined that I could not be cloned, so that was a whole conversation.
Well, we're grateful for you bringing this forth, and I support it fully. Clerk Tomasic, please call roll.
McNabb,
Yes.
Mulnar,
Yes.
Schumate,
Yes.
Osmer,
Yes.
Cox,
Yes.
Dill,
Yes.
LaPointe.
Yes.
Motion carried. Rachel, back to you.
Thank you, I appreciate that. I'm excited to bring back new ideas, as those conferences always do. The next item does not require any action, but it is just a communication that we wanted to make you aware of. We were reviewing some items in the water department and saw that our ordinance 35-25 required that every high-volume and industrial account pay a meter service charge for each calendar month, which would require them to be billed monthly. So we started that process effective January 2025. Those customers have been notified, and we just wanted to bring that to council's attention. So there is a communication there for your knowledge as well as the public in the packet. And with that, I would, if there's any questions or concerns on that communication, I have a few other updates.
Councilman LaPointe?
Could we get a copy of that, like, not tonight, but I think it would be a good policy to have anything that goes to any residents in our community or business owners, that council gets a copy of it.
Okay.
If we could
Yeah.
have a copy of that letter. I don't know if anybody else
Like
is
that.
interested.
I concur.
but
I agree.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Do you need
I
a
will-
motion for that?
I don't think we require a motion for
I'll
that.
just make that happen. Thank you.
But I think as a principle of operation, it's important to take that as a takeaway, Rachel, which is if we're doing communication, just making sure a copy is a copy and
Yeah.
Yep.
council is a copy.
Perfect.
Thank you for the communication, by the way, and for ensuring abidance by ordinance language.
Of course.
Any other questions, comments on this matter? Back to you.
All right, so I would again like to echo the shout outs for our fire department and Department of Public Safety, including our police officers who responded to the fire on Friday night. They did an incredible job. There was no loss of life, which is amazing, especially for a nighttime fire. I had a resident in the office today who was also praising you, so thank you guys for all of your hard work. And then, kind of along those same lines, our DPW did something last week that was just really incredible. There was a young gentleman who was trying to ride his bike to work at the McDonald's by the freeway, and his brakes froze. We didn't know what the problem was, but his tires would not move. And our DPW took it upon themselves to help them out. They, one of them, Bill Kane, gave him a ride. He said he was going up that way. It was about lunchtime, so he gave the young gentleman a ride to work. While Devin Martin worked on fixing his bike, he warmed it up, did a little extra fine tuning, and they took the bike up to him. And that, to me, is an incredible example of what local government employees can do when they're focused on serving the community. It doesn't have to be just in your job capacity, but in any way you can help. And I love that, so I just wanted to give them a shout out for that. And then last item, next Friday, December 19th, the office will close at 2 p.m. for a holiday celebration. We will resume office hours on Monday at 8 a.m. So I just wanted to make everyone aware of that. And with that, that concludes my message. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and I love the DPW story as well. Council, any questions or comments for City Administrator Witherspoon?
If I could, consideration of the time allotment, when is it going to be a good opportunity to discuss that? Or is it going to stick at 3 minutes? Is that what we're saying?
The time
unclear.
allotment for public comment?
Public comment, yeah.
That would be reflected in the approved and carried motion from council, but City Administrator, any comments on that? Dennis is inquiring about the 3 minute.
Yeah, so that was just approved as 3 minutes, and that, obviously, it's a policy. You guys have the right to change it at any point if it does not work out, so.
All right, thank you.
Any further questions or comments for City Administrator Witherspoon? All right, well, the next item I know is our DPW Director Sant. So DPW Director Sant, we would love to welcome you to the podium. Thank you for being here this evening.
Not a problem. All right, tonight I only have one motion to approve an invoice from DTE Energy for gas meter upgrade at the DPW building. Council approved a new standby generator in October for the DPW. One item that was unknown at the time was the gas service and meter charge, if it would need to be upgraded. Paperwork was completed, gas company came out, looked at the new loads. What we have to do is, our service is good going to the building, we just gotta upgrade the meter. So this will happen as soon as I give them a check. Fiscal impact is $4,239.12.
Thank you, John. Motion is in your court, council, to approve the DTE for gas meter upgrade at DPW building in the amount of $42,3912.
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion by Cox. Clerk Tomasi, do you have that captured?
I do, yes.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by McNabb. Council, any discussion on this matter?
This is going to be obviously drawn out of the DDA bond funds.
Yes, yes.
Associated
Yep.
with that.
Thank you for the source
I want to make
clarification.
that clarification.
Appreciate that.
How about the building service, electrical service?
What about it? We got 400 amps coming in there.
Okay, you were saying it looked pretty messy.
Well, no one's addressed it yet, you know,
Okay.
it's old,
Okay.
okay? I don't want, I hope we don't have any issues. All right?
If we had the money, I was just thinking down,
Well,
down that path, okay?
we'll see. I'm sure there's plenty over there that could be upgraded,
Yeah.
you know.
Any further discussion on this matter? Clerk Tomasi, please call roll.
Molnar,
Yes.
Schumate,
Yes.
Bosmer,
Yes.
Cox,
Yes.
Dill,
Yes.
Lapointe,
Yes.
McNabb.
Yes.
Motion carried. John, back to you.
All right, that's it for tonight.
Thanks for everything
Thank you.
Thanks for everything you're doing. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Any questions for John before we let him go? All right. Clerk Tomasic, floor is yours.
Thank you. I have no report.
Any questions for Clerk Tomasic? Treasurer Reiser, floor is yours.
No report tonight.
Any questions for Treasurer Reiser? All right, Finance Director McEwen's report.
So I am also McEwen this evening. So in front of you, first item is the check signer resolution. This is everything you approved at the last meeting. The bank just wanted a slight adjustment to the resolution. So this resolution in front of you is exactly what the bank requested. Has no change to the policy you have already established. And I just ask that you pass this so I can have the mayor sign it immediately after the meeting.
Make that motion.
Make a motion to approve the check signer resolution with Advia Credit Union.
Support?
Authorized, do you want me to go through what it says? Or authorizing,
No, the titled check signer resolution.
All right, so we have a motion by Lapointe, and I believe I heard a second from Bosmer.
Yes, sir.
Any discussion on this matter? Clerk Tomasic, please call roll.
Schumate,
Yes.
Bosmer,
Yes.
Cox,
Yes.
Dill,
Yes.
Lapointe,
yes.
McNabb.
Yes.
Molnar.
Yes.
Motion carried, and I will sign that on the close of our meeting. I know we have coordination on getting to the banks and making sure other authorization is taking place for Treasurer Reiser. Back to you.
All right, the next and last item is to send the finance director McEwen to the winter workshop for MMTA. This is an important workshop for finance directors and treasurers, so I'm going to also recommend that we add Treasurer Reiser into this. So the fiscal impact would be $549 instead of $350.
Make a motion to authorize Director McEwen and Treasurer Reiser to attend the Michigan Municipal Treasurers Association Winter Conference.
Second.
Motion by Lapointe, second by Dill. Council, any discussion on this matter?
We don't have a history of, at least that I thought of, having sending elected officials like treasurer, or council, or mayor to educational programs. It's assumed that they're probably educated in this forum already, or they could pay their way to these events. So, not really in favor of paying for the treasurer to go.
Mr. Mayor, if I may?
Yeah, please.
In my previous elected time, I was reimbursed for training for MMA, Michigan Municipal League trainings. I went to Marquette. I went to a couple of different things. So that was my past practice. There's an education fund for council members that want to get engaged and get training. So just for
Thank you
conversation.
for that context. Councilman LaPointe?
So I assume there is budget. We, like the council has a budget.
Yes.
Treasurer's office has a budget. But I guess particularly when I was looking at the submission from Amy about what they were covering, there is specific course on resolution of some things that have been mentioned in our audit that I thought maybe 4 years would be better than 2. And I'm hoping when they come back, they will have a report on how to resolve those issues that keep coming up year over year in our audit. So I think it'll be money well spent.
Thank you. Any further comments or questions from council? Clerk Tomasic, please call a roll.
Bosmer,
Yes.
Cox,
Yes.
Dill,
Yes.
LaPointe,
Yes.
McNabb,
Yes.
Mulnar,
No.
Schumate.
Yes. Motion carried. Back to you.
And that is all I have.
All right, any questions for our sub for Finance Director McEwen and City Administrator Witherspoon? All right, well, that will close Finance Director McEwen's report, and that will turn us over to Police Chief and Director of Public Safety Bullard. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council. Since the last council meeting, the police department's responded to 104 calls for service. We had 13 incident reports, 2 arrests, 14 traffic citations, and 3 Detective Bureau investigations. Included in your packet is Gibraltar Police Department news, as well as the All Traffic Solutions report, which was conducted on Kingsbridge. I do have one action item. The Decatur radar unit in 15-4 is malfunctioning, and I'll be sending it out for repair to Chase Electronics. The unit is at its end of its life, and it's been repaired several times over the years. The unit was put into service in 2009 in a Crown Victoria. I will have the unit repaired again, but it's time to replace the old unit. I received 3 bids from Decatur Electronics and 1 bid from Custom Electronics. I had chose the Decatur radar. It's a G3K band. It's the more expensive unit, but it's the latest in technology, has a color screen, better visibility for the officers, and has a handheld remote. Requesting to purchase a G3 band Decatur radar unit in the amount of $2,943, and I will also be utilizing Bernie Grant funds, so it'll be at no cost to the city.
Council, motion's in your court.
I'd like to make that motion to approve the purchase of the Decatur radar unit for the chief of police in the amount of $2,943.
Motion by Bosmer. Is there a second?
Second.
I heard McNabb first. If I
Oh, and see, I'm having a hard time. Sorry
apologies
about
for the
that.
noise there.
Councilman McNabb.
So we have a second by McNabb. Council, discussion on this matter? Clerk Tomasic, please call roll.
Cox,
Yes.
Dill,
Yes.
LaPointe,
Yes.
McNabb,
Yes.
Mulnar,
Yes.
Schumate,
Yes.
Bosmer.
Yes.
Motion carried. Chief, back to you.
Thank you. That's the end of my report.
Thanks for everything you and the department are doing.
Thank you.
With that, we'll turn it over to our Sergeant Schaefer representing Fire Chief Simon.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. In the period between 11:20 and 12:03, the fire department responded to 12 calls of service, one of those being an auto aid for Flat Rock. We also had 2 mutual aids covered by the city of Brownstown. One be due to numerous patients with a car accident. On tonight's agenda, I have one action item that is coverage for the night of 12/14/25. It is to staff an engine at the city of Brownstown on their south end station on Gibraltar Road. They asked us to cover the station while they are gone from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Other neighboring cities will be covering their north station and providing ALS for the city. So we would just be providing a fire crew. That'll be 4 members on 1 truck from us, if approved.
I'd like to make that motion.
Motion by Molnar.
Second.
Second by Cox. Clerk Tomasic, do you have the motion captured?
I do.
Any discussion on this matter?
I think that's how we get them to make sure that they help us and treat us respectfully by giving them a hand when they need a hand. So, Matt, I think that's nice of you guys to bring us here and do that.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Clerk Tomasic, please call roll.
Dill,
Yes.
LaPointe,
Yes.
McNabb,
Yes.
Mulnar,
Yes.
Schumate,
Yes.
Bosmer,
Yes.
Cox.
Yes.
Motion carried. Back to you.
That is it for my report, but real quick, just a thank you to all the men and women from the other departments that also helped us this week with that fire. That was very much appreciated.
It's incredible to see the strong mutual aid, so just thank you to everything our department is doing to have effective partnerships, as Councilman Molnar mentioned, and supporting each other when we need it. Any further discussion for our fire chief representative?
Yes,
Yeah,
thank you,
please.
Mr. Mayor. Just want to point out, I love the detailed report. I went through it. I like that, and I'd like to see that continue going forward. And then also, I'd like to congratulate the feller or fellette who's Weimer, I don't,
Weimer.
on a 1-year anniversary at the fire department. If you could pass that on to them.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any further questions or comments? All right, well, thank you for everything you're doing. Thanks for being here this evening. That will close the fire chief report, and that will bring us to unfinished business, for which there is none, new business, for which there is none, table and referred items, for which there are none. So we would love to put it back to our public comment. Members of public, if you have any comment, please approach that podium and make sure that light is green. Do not see any public comment, which would then bring us to an ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by McNabb, is there a second?
Support?
Heard Dennis, I believe. All right, Clerk Tomasic, please call roll.
Lapointe? Yes. McNabb?
Yes.
Mulnar?
Yes.
Schumate?
Yes.
Osmer?
Yes.
Cox?
Yes.
Dill?
Yes.
Motion carried. Have a wonderful evening, everybody. Thank you so much.
And then Katie wants to get pictures, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Pictures of everyone.
Someone will dress like this every week.
Can we get a group photo, too? Thanks for remembering that. Yeah. Sure.